I'm Jeannie from Jimmy Bean's Wool, and I'm here today to talk to you about the magic loop. A lot of you are always asking me about how I do it. I'm always showing you my socks and how I'm doing it. So I thought I'd do a video, and hopefully you'll be able to understand what I'm talking about. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to cast on with the magic loop. And Greg's going to zoom in on my hands, and I'm going to try to hold them still. You can see I've already pre-casted on the total number I would need for my project. Clearly for this demonstration, there's only a limited number of stitches. But if you were doing a sock or a sleeve or something that you wanted to not have to use double points, that's what the magic loop is very good for, you would cast the total number for your project onto your long circular needle. I have here an Addy lace circular needle, and I prefer a 40-inch needle. Some people like to use 32 and some people like to use longer. So it has to be knitter's choice here. But anyway, I have casted on 20 stitches in representation of my sock, which is what I'm compelled to knit continually. So you can see I used the long tail cast on. You can use any cast on, it doesn't matter. And then you take and just kind of hold your hand around the stitches, pull them down onto the cable. How's that, Greg?
That's good.
All right.
Perfect.
And you want to count half your stitches. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, right there. 2, 4, 6, 8, yep, that I can count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And you kind of make a little gap. Can you show them that little gap there?
Yeah, I think.
You make a little gap in between the stitches. And don't pinch. Let's see if I can do this so the camera can see. Don't pinch it, and don't worry that that's spreading apart like that. It'll be fine, trust me. And just make a little gap. Pull that cable through there. Like this. You see how that works? You just pull it through, and you still have kind of a gap in your stitches, but don't worry about it. I like to keep my cast on edge very stable because we're always hearing don't turn those stitches, don't twist them. So you pull this down like this. I'm going to turn this around so you can see the tips of my needles, and you pull the whole load down your needles kind of to the tip.
Oh, yeah.
This is now called home position when it's around pointing to your right. Okay, can you see that?
Looks good.
Looks good. That's home position. So to knit like this with the magic loop, and I would like to mention real quick, is that too much in the...
Yeah, let me just back out. There we are.
Okay. This is how I learned the magic loop, was Fibertrans Sarah Hauskaz. She did a very good job of describing how to do the magic loop in this little booklet, and I recommend it highly. It really helped me get the concept here. So now I'm in what's called home position. You take and you pull your back needle out. You will also notice that your working yarn is coming from the back, and you just start knitting. Of course, you want your yarn to come up and over through the back. Whoops, that's your tail. See that? Don't make that mistake. Make sure it's your working yarn, not your tail, because you'll knit along and then you'll run out of yarn. So you put that through and just knit like you normally would. I do not knit like this with my hand over the top. And you knit around, and hopefully I can go a little quick. Knit around, do 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 do, knit, knit, knit. I should have put 10 stitches on. Because I'm being slow today. I don't know what that's all about. I really like this. I also knit 2 socks at a time, and I'm going to show you that really quickly. So now I have the needle that I just knit the stitches from
Back
hanging here.
Show us that.
Huh?
No, we're good.
Did I move too far?
No. I had zoomed out a little too far. We're okay.
Greg, come on now. So this needle is now hanging to the back. You want to grip your work. Be sure you're pulling the right cable. Pull that through. like this, carefully, turn, and you are now back in home position, ready to do the other side of your work. Now tell me I'm moving a lot. How's that?
It's good.
Okay. So then you do slip it all down here. If you ever have any hiccups or you get confused, I always say go back to home position right away, and that will give you a chance to regroup, kind of figure out where you are. Here's your working yarn. You take that back needle and work ahead. And that is how you do the magic loop. I do like to snug up that very first stitch between the back needle and the front needle a little snugger. That's like on double points at that join so you don't get ladders. And you just knit along. Knit round and around and around she goes. Where she stops, nobody knows. And there you go. And that is the magic loop. Kind of a quick overview. You can always email me or call me and I'll be happy to go over it with you. But pick up this little booklet, the magic loop, and it will help you. So now, real quick, I'm going to bend down here and get my socks that I've been knitting just to show you what you can do with the magic loop. I will eventually do a more in-depth video for you, but I think it would take a while for me to knit around these socks, and I don't know that you want to watch and be bored having me knit, but this shows you how you can knit 2 at a time. I do have 2 balls of yarn for each sock, and it works primarily the same way. You always want to make sure your working yarn is coming up between the needles. Okay, and the same with the second one. You'll see that it's not going down through this center loop, and to the back it's up through. And you do the very same thing. How's that for zooming, Greg? Am I
Pretty good.
diddling around there too much?
No, that's all right.
All right. So you just do the very same thing, move it forward, knit this part of your sock, then this needle will come over here, you knit this part of your sock. Now you're back ready to turn your work, and you knit across, and you're back in home position. I love knitting 2 at a time socks because I have the worst second sock syndrome on the planet, and I have a lot of single socks. I'm just going to start wearing them as pairs and just be a little different. This is a great technique. It doesn't work for all patterns. If you have traveling cables or traveling lace, it can be too difficult and you need to resort to your double points. Alas, I'm sorry. But it really works well for a lot of things. 2 sleeves at a time. I've even knit 2 hats at a time when I'm really in a crunch. It just works great. So I'm Jeannie from Jimmy Beans Wool, and I hope you enjoyed learning about the magic loop and just some basics. Have a great day and happy knitting.
Thunder rumbles on this American summer night. There's kids on the corner, stuck in a switchblade fight. And the rock and roll bands play for the